In a world of 7 billion humans, each of us carries a unique identifier, a tiny map of ridges and whorls on our fingertips that is ours and ours alone. The fingerprint. But what if I told you that our loyal canine companions have their own equally unique biological signature? It's not in their paws or their bark, but right there on the end of that wet, inquisitive nose they nudge you with. Yes, the print on a dog's nose is a one-of-a-kind marker, a natural identity card that is as distinct and individual as a human fingerprint. This isn't just a charming fact. It's a scientific reality that opens up a world of possibilities for pet identification and safety. So what makes a dog's nose print so special? Let's zoom in for a closer look. The surface of a dog's nose, known as the rhinarium, isn't smooth. It's covered in a complex pattern of bumps, divots, and lines. These features are called dermal ridges. The exact layout of these ridges, the shape of their edges, and the distribution of tiny pores within the pattern create a design that is established before birth and remains unchanged throughout the dog's life. Scientists and veterinarians have studied this for decades, and the conclusion is unanimous. No two dogs, not even identical twins, share the same nose print. This principle of uniqueness is so reliable that it has been recognized for nearly a century. In fact, organizations like the Canadian Kennel Club began accepting nose prints as a valid form of proof of identity way back in 1938, long before microchips were ever conceived. Historically, recording a dog's nose print was a messy affair. It involved carefully inking the dog's nose and pressing it onto an identification card, much like old-school human fingerprinting. While effective, it wasn't the most practical method for the average pet owner. But today we stand on the cusp of a technological revolution in pet identification. Driven by advancements in artificial intelligence and high-resolution smartphone cameras, a new wave of innovation is here. Companies and startups are developing sophisticated mobile applications that can capture a high-definition image of a dog's nose. Their algorithms then analyze the unique pattern of ridges and pores, creating a digital biometric record that can be stored securely in a database. This turns your phone into a powerful tool for pet protection. The implications of this technology are immense. The most immediate and life-changing application is in the recovery of lost pets. A collar can break and tags can get lost. A microchip is an excellent internal safeguard, but it requires a trip to a vet or shelter to be scanned. A nose print, however, is an external, unalterable, and easily accessible form of identification. If a lost dog is found, anyone with the corresponding app could potentially scan its nose and instantly connect with its owner. This could dramatically reduce the time lost dogs spend in shelters and increase the chances of a happy reunion. Looking forward, this biometric data could also be used for verifying a dog's identity for veterinary records, insurance purposes, or even at doggy daycares, creating a seamless and secure system of pet management. So the next time your dog nudges you with their cold, wet nose, remember that you're not just getting a friendly boop. You're being touched by a unique, intricate masterpiece of nature. It's their signature, their story, their identity, reminding us that every single dog is truly one in a million.
Scene opens with a tight, close-up shot of a dog's glistening, wet nose. The texture is clear, and a small drop of moisture might be visible. Ever wondered why your dog's nose is always wet? It's not just a cute, boop-able feature. It's a sophisticated tool that fuels one of their most incredible abilities. This constant dampness is a key part of how they experience and understand the world around them, turning their nose into a high-powered scent detector. So, what's the secret behind that cold, wet snout? The answer lies in a thin layer of specialized mucus, secreted by glands inside the nasal passages. This moisture isn't just for show. It serves a crucial purpose. As a dog sniffs, this sticky surface acts like flypaper for scents, trapping microscopic odor particles floating in the air. Once captured, these particles dissolve into the mucus, which allows them to be more effectively processed by the millions of scent receptors packed inside the dog's nasal cavity. Think of it like this. A dry nose would be far less efficient at capturing these tiny scent molecules, but the moisture amplifies every smell, making it more potent and easier to identify. In addition to this, dogs frequently lick their noses, which not only keeps the surface moist but also transfers those trap scent particles into their mouths for further analysis. Delving deeper into the anatomy reveals a system far more complex and powerful than our own. When a dog inhales, the air splits into two distinct paths. One path goes directly to the lungs for breathing, while the other is diverted into a dedicated chamber in the back of the nose, housing an astonishing number of olfactory receptors. Where humans have about 6 million of these receptors, a dog can have up to 300 million, but that's not all. Dogs possess a secondary olfactory tool called the vomeronasal organ, or Jacobson's organ, located on the roof of their mouth. This specialized organ is designed to detect pheromones, chemical signals that convey information about other animals, such as their mood, readiness to mate, or social status. When a dog licks its nose, it's not just cleaning it, it's delivering these important chemical messages directly to this secondary scent processor. This intricate system gives dogs what can only be described as a scent superpower. Watch a golden retriever in a field, its nose to the ground. It's not just sniffing randomly, it's actively reading a complex story written in scent. When your dog zigzags frantically to find a hidden treat under cup, it is processing subtle air currents and following an invisible trail of odor molecules that lead it directly to the source. This ability is so refined that trained detection dogs can identify specific scents even when they are diluted to parts per trillion. Their wet nose is the gateway to this hidden world, allowing them to perceive their surroundings with a richness and detail that we can barely imagine. So, the next time your furry friend nudges you with their cold, wet nose, remember you're being greeted by a marvel of biological engineering. That dampness is the secret ingredient to their extraordinary sense of smell, a built-in mechanism that helps them trap, analyze, and interpret the world in a way we never could. It's a constant reminder of the incredible sensory abilities that make our canine companions so unique and fascinating. The video ends with a heartwarming shot of the golden retriever, having found its toy, looking up at the camera with a happy, affectionate expression. Its wet nose glistens in the light.
The wet, cold nose of a dog. We see it as a sign of health, a unique print like a human fingerprint. For centuries, we've marveled at their ability to follow a scent trail for miles, to find the lost, to detect the undetectable. But this is only half the story. The dog's nose is not just a single powerful instrument. It's a dual sensory marvel, a biological masterpiece that perceives the world in ways that challenge our own understanding of reality. It doesn't just smell. It sees with heat and navigates with air. Let's journey inside this sensory wonder. When a dog sniffs, it's a highly active process. A single inhale draws air into the nasal cavity, where a small fold of tissue directs it into two separate streams. One path flows to the lungs for respiration. The other, larger stream is diverted into a dedicated chamber in the back of the nose, a scent processing lab packed with up to 300 million olfactory receptors. For comparison, humans have a mere 6 million. But the genius doesn't stop there. As the dog exhales, air is pushed out through the slits on the side of its nose. This creates a gentle swirl of air that pulls new, unscented air into the nostrils, allowing them to sample continuously without interruption. Furthermore, they smell in stereo. Each nostril works independently, detecting slight differences in the concentration of scent particles. This tiny time delay between the left and right nostril allows the dog's brain to construct a three-dimensional map of the scent's origin, pinpointing its exact location and direction with stunning accuracy. Now for the hidden scents. Focus on the tip of the nose, that smooth, moist patch of skin known as the rhinarium. It's colder than the rest of the dog's body for a very specific reason. This area is a highly sensitive infrared detector, capable of sensing faint thermal radiation. It's a biological heat seeker. We can see this ability in its most primal form in their ancestor, the gray wolf. In the dead of winter, a wolf can detect the body heat of a rabbit or a deer hiding motionless behind a snow-covered bush, long before it can smell or see it. It's a silent, invisible advantage in the hunt for survival. So, what happens when you combine these two extraordinary senses? You get a perception of the world that is almost supernatural. As a golden retriever plays in the park, it's not just smelling the distant barbecue, it's discerning the direction of the wind carrying the scent, while its thermal sense detects the warm body of a squirrel hiding in a nearby tree. It's a constant, layered stream of data, chemical, directional, and thermal. The dog's nose isn't just an organ, it's a navigation system, a survival tool, and a window into a hidden dimension of our shared world. It's a reminder that right under our noses, nature has engineered something truly extraordinary.